Well, good afternoon, America. Welcome to Open Mic America. I'm Evan Acey, and I'm going to be your MC this afternoon, and I'm joined by OMA's newest members to the team. Please welcome husband and wife songwriting team, Penny and Rob Cork. Wave to everybody. They're from Beaverton, Oregon. They're going to be serving as our interviewing host this evening, and Alice Osborne is going to be the great presence behind the curtain as our show engineer. So the mission of Open Mic America is to support your local open mics, and it's our pleasure to present the more accomplished singer-songwriters who play at those events. Without gimmicks or frills, this is the beating heart of American music, the tapestry of story and song that has been weaving us together for generations. So now let's introduce all of our performers. So starting off tonight, we're going to have Last Chance, which is Jack Scott and Ingrid Roseback. They're in Wallingford, Pennsylvania, and their favorite open mic is Brian Irie Open Mic. And so our second performer tonight will be Ron Smith. Ron is from Camdenton, Missouri, and Massachusetts, sorry, right? No, it's Missouri, right? Yeah. And so his favorite open mic locally is Ron's Virtual Open Mic, and he had a couple other ones, but twice that one came up, so we're going to mention them. And then after that, we're going to have Joe Kidd and Sheila Burke, and they're in Flat Rock, Mississippi, right? Yep. And then their favorite open mic is they're actually going to be traveling to Cleveland, so they don't have a local one that they like to, but they're going to go to a place called Muskbrooks Open Mic down there in Cleveland. And so if you're down there, you might want to check them out. And Sandstrom is going to play after that. Wave everybody and to everybody. North Reading Community Coffee House is her favorite one on Facebook, open mic, and Anna's in Burlington, Massachusetts. So Lloyd, Becky Lloyd DesRoches did I say that right? Excellent. Perfect. In Lexington, Massachusetts again. So we've got a good Massachusetts presence representing tonight here on Open Mic America. Her favorite local mic, somebody else mentioned her also, and is it Club Passim? Passim. Yep. Okay. That would have been the other way, my other choice. And so then we're going to follow that with Wade Worthington, who is down in Portland, Oregon, right in my neighborhood. Good to see Wade. His favorite is a songwriter soiree, and that's available online. It's a wonderful event. If you haven't seen it, great to see in person too. Christopher Thomas Elliott down in Shutesbury, Massachusetts. He likes to play at the Luthier's Coop in East Hampton, Massachusetts. And then Robert Edgar is in Sunnyvale, California. And you like to go out to Red Rock, Mountain View, California. And you have a bass player with you tonight named Roger Winkleman. And so that's going to be great. Welcome back to the OMA stage. And Jane Canfield in Olympus and Tumwater, Washington, a little bit of both. And so it's good to see you, Jane. Welcome in. And Jimmy Joe Natoli, finally from Dale, Texas, going to close out the night. And Giddy Ups is the name of the local open mic there. So welcome in, everybody. And so I think that I have truly come to the place where I need to remind you that you can find the links to all these performers' catalogs, their favorite open mics on our website and on this YouTube video. And so our first guest, Last Chance from Wallingford, Pennsylvania. Let's hear it for Last Chance.
Hi. We're going to do a song about things you can change and things you can't change. And the song is called The Magic of the Ride.
The raven flies high, and we watch in amazement. His world is his sky, and here we stand on the pavement. But in a flash from our view, he disappears, the horizon's blue, and I can't make the earth stand still or stop the ocean tide. But I
I can sure assert my will,
believing in the magic of the ride. We steer what we can. We count our gains and our losses. The winds in our hands. The seasons fade in the process. But in a flash in our view, we see at last the world is new. And I can't make the earth stand still or stop the ocean tide. But I can sure assert my will, believing in the magic of the ride. I can't make the earth stand still or stop the ocean tide. But I can sure assert my will, believing in the magic of the ride. Believing in the magic of the ride.
Yay, wonderful.
Thanks, I'm Jack, this is Ingrid, we're Last Chance. We have one more song we'd like to do, and the song is called Young Man's Game. The sea is cool and calm tonight. To look at it is soothing. The wind is still, the seagulls high. The waves are barely moving. And if I had good eyes to see, my health it was not failing. Perhaps I'd pack and go to sea for one more month of sailing. Sailing is a young man's game, and once upon a time it called me by a young man's name. But now I'm past my prime, a long time past my prime. The young girls down by Biscayne Bay, they're laughing and they're drinking. If one of them should look my way, she'd know what I was thinking. I watch them in the August air, with all their lives before them. The starlight hits their golden hair, a man just can't ignore them. Courting is a young man's game, and once upon a time they called me by a young man's name. But now I'm past my prime, a long time past my prime. Sometimes it's a long way home, where lights shine in the window, and weariness can often show when you've been where the wind blows. By the door my true love stands, she says, where you been? It's late now. She's watching for her only man, she can hardly wait now. Loving is a young man's game, and once upon a time I found you and you took my name, my constant valentine, forever in my prime. Loving is a young man's game, and once upon a time I found you and you took my name, my constant valentine, forever in my prime, forever in my prime.
What a great song.
Hi, Jack and Ingrid. It's nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
How are you guys doing?
We're first timers.
Oh,
Yeah, that was terrific.
Yeah,
That was a
you
really
have a-
good sound.
you have a real joy in your performance. Thank you so much. But I have to ask you, how did you get the name Last Chance?
Well, that's a good question. We've been playing music for a long time in a lot of different ways and a lot of different bands. And we looked at each other and we figured this is our very last chance to do it exactly the way we want to do it.
Nice, nice. And how long have you been together?
As music partners, a little over 10 years.
Oh, wonderful. That's awesome. And how did you come together?
Well, I was looking for a fiddle player in another band that I was with, and I came across Ingrid at a music circle, kind of an open mic type of setting. And she played so beautifully that I had to introduce myself.
Wonderful. Yes, and she does. And I think Rob's got a question.
Yeah. Do you guys write your material together or separately?
Jack writes all of our material. He writes all of our songs.
Mhm.
And I bring them to Ingrid and she tells me what's wrong with them so I can go back and correct them.
Okay, so you get some editorial rights. That's I know that feeling. So that's so. What are some of the challenges of playing just as a duo?
Well, the challenge is to make sure that our show is very diverse and that no audience member ever gets bored. So we play a lot of different instruments. I bring a banjo in, Ingrid brings in a harmonica. We mix up the songs. We'll play major key, minor key, fast songs, slow songs, anything. Because there are only two of us, we do everything that we can to keep our shows interesting and fun.
Well, yes, your two songs tonight were a great example of that. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank
We're
you.
thrilled to be on this show.
Yeah, we hope to hear you guys again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then we're going to flip back over to Evan, our host.
That was really, really great. One more time for Last Chance. Weren't they wonderful? Yeah. So now our next performer is Ron Smith, all the way from Camdenton, MO. Ron
Missouri,
Smith,
yeah.
what is in your heart tonight that you'd like to express through song to America?
Well, that's a great question. I know what's in my fingers and in my head, so I'll start with that. This is a song that I wrote right at the start of the pandemic, about March of the 2020. Just trying to deal with the disorientation I had and just trying to figure out what I could do or not do to feel better or not feel better. I don't know. So this kind of came about with that, and that's what's behind it. It's called, well, it's either called Tumbleweed or maybe not, I don't know. I keep going back and forth. So. I hear a song in the early dawn, perfect start to my day. It tells me the birds think it's worth going on, helps me feel the same way. 'Cause lately my life is a tumbleweed, goes where the wind wants to go. Maybe today can find what I need, maybe not, I don't know. I cannot sleep like I used to could, so here I sit in this chair. That first sip of coffee is tasting so good, I pick up a little spark there. But lately my life is a tumbleweed, goes where the wind wants to go. Maybe today can find what I need, maybe not, I don't know. I just keep going day after day after day, not even knowing how long it's gonna stay this way. The sun is spilling the daylight around, Earth continues to spin, and thanks to a few little sparks that I found, I'm willing to go try again. Lately my life is a tumbleweed, goes where the wind wants to go. Maybe today can find what I need, maybe not, I don't know.
Wow.
Thank you very much. This next song is also written kind of during that time frame, maybe a little bit later in the game. Just thinking through all the time I spent wishing I was somewhere else or doing something else, or that things had worked out differently than they had, or whatever. And just dawned on me one morning what I was missing. So this is called Things That Are Not. Things that can never be. Why are they so hard to let go? Fantasies, wild dreams, crushes and wishes, all those things that creep inside my mind work their way down to my heart. They hold me nearly hypnotized, blind to what's right here in front of my eyes. What is so wrong with today? All the things that I've got, would I really just trade them away for all of those things that are not? There is no day but today. There is no moment but now. There is no place but the place I'm in. There's no other time to begin to let go of the future and the past. Live today as if it were my last. Well, it's easy to say, not easy to do. But deep inside, I know that it's true. What is so wrong with today? All the things that I've got, would I really just trade them away for all of those things that are not?
Beautiful, man. Really beautiful. Very vulnerable, beautiful.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, Ron. Those are two very beautiful songs. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
those are really moving. One question I got to ask you is, I'm totally in love with that descending finger picking pattern that you got on that song. Is how do you come by that kind of phrasing? Is this something you studied or kind of messed around with it?
Messed around is the key word, yeah. That's kind of my process. Is I mean, I'm sort of even though, I'm just gonna say I consider myself a guitar player first and a songwriter second, kind of, because I've been playing guitar a lot longer than I've been songwriting, and so I generally come at him. I come across some music that really, I really latch onto, and then I start looking for lyrics for it. But I work a lot with open tunings and cut capos and different things to try to get different sound. And a lot of times I'll just pick up the guitar first thing in the morning and last thing at night, and I just try to just noodle and play something that I've never played before, just come up with something that I've just to, kick it out. So that's my process.
It's really pretty. It's absolutely beautiful.
And then you obviously wrote a lot during the pandemic. And what inspires you? What do you think about? Is it just a one thought that comes to your mind, an idea?
A lot of times it is. Sometimes it's something that I just wake up thinking about, middle of the night or something. I'm up a lot in the middle of the night. Mm-hmm. I'm in a song circle in Columbia, Missouri, which is about 100 miles away from me. Oh. And we have a monthly song prompt. And then I also do a virtual open mic out of Baltimore, Rob's Bomb. And so there are song prompts there. I get a lot of exposure to a lot of artists and stuff like that. So a lot of times I'll just sit down in the morning with a notebook and just kind of, do stream of thought writing and stuff, and go back and visit that several months later. And sometimes some stuff sticks with me there. So just a variety of stuff.
It obviously works for you, Ron. Thank you so much.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's definitely working.
Very beautiful songs. Thank you
so much. I appreciate it.
I look forward to hearing you again, man.
Cool.
And we'll go back to Evan.
All right. Wow. Boy, that was really wonderful. And the hits just keep coming. Right now, we're going to hear from Joe Kidd and Sheila Burke and Flat Rock MI. Right there
Michigan.
where you are. Yeah, I know. So what's up in your world? You're getting ready to take off to Cleveland. What's in your mind and in your heart tonight that you want to share with America through song?
Well, we're here at the tail end of the Veterans Day weekend, and we've got a couple of friends that are veterans that are in the hospital right now. Breathing problems and different things, and so we're going to dedicate our couple of songs to those guys and to everyone who's suffering out there. We're going to sing a couple songs that we wrote about war.
All right.
And the first one is called Centuries of Blood. It rises from the valley where nothing can survive. The sound of poor men dying and rich men terrified. The general stands upon the ridge. Today we take that hill. He dare not think about the cost. How many will be killed? The Irish and the Mexican, Palestinian and the Jew, battalions of Italians, church and temple too. African falls and Asian calls, the rainbow turning blue. The Indian will rise again when there's no one left to shoot. A mother cries, a young girl sighs, with both hands on the wall. They pray for mercy upon the souls and vow to end it all. But still the drums are pounding, marching shadows through the flood. The distance measured not in miles, but in centuries of blood. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Come over.
This song is called the Veteran Song. It's dedicated to my brother, a Vietnam veteran. And I would have been about 10 when he was in Vietnam. So you may recognize some of the phrasing in it as, for example, just to keep the family from worrying, especially the younger children. He actually told us he had a desk job. And I was so mad at myself all the years later when I realized that really wasn't true.
although I don't know how I could have loved him or supported him anymore. So this goes out to all of our veterans, and especially tonight to our Vietnam veterans. My brother was a young man when he went off to war. My brother was a young man, never left home before. My brother was a young man when he walked out the door. All I know is that young man, he came home no more. My brother was a young man, he was sweet and kind. My brother was a young man, always looked so fine. My brother was a young man, never paid no mind. My brother was a young man, my hero every time. Daddy had a desk job, well I was just a kid. I could never ask him for the things he did. Screams and tears, rage and fear, all the things he hid. My brother was a young man, somehow, God forbid, oh, one day something happened, he never told me what. Something about a village, a fire that was hot. So many people crying, little children too. All this to keep our freedom. I was still in school. Oh, I should miss my brother, I could never ask at the time, but now I do. I take them all to task. Where is all this freedom? Is peace within our grasp? Or is it just another war? What's behind the mask? My brother was a young man when he went off to war. My brother was a young man, never left home before. My brother was a young man when he walked out the door. All I know is that he came home
Hi, Joe and Sheila. Thank you.
Hi,
so
how are you?
Well, thank you. Beautiful, powerful songs. Thank you. Rob's going to ask you a couple of questions.
So I was looking on your guys' website, and the date that stood out to me the most was a Grand Ole Opry date. How was that? What was that like?
We danced. It was wonderful.
Pretty cool.
Just to be there with so many legends and people who've inspired us through the years. It was kind of a dream come true.
Wonderful. I can imagine. And who are those people that have inspired you?
Oh my goodness. We were just driving back from one of our tours this summer. We've traveled quite a lot.
We put 10,000 miles on the car since May.
We were driving
Honest
back
to
from
God.
Kentucky, and it happened to be October 4th, and I'm not sure if you recall what happened on October 4th, but since you asked about someone who's inspired us, and me especially, I want to talk about Miss Loretta Lynn.
Yes.
So we were, I got a little ding on my news app on my phone, and I read it, and I said, oh goodness, Miss Loretta had passed away. We looked up, and right there was the road sign that's, here we are on Country Music Highway in eastern Kentucky. Loretta Lynn's name, top of the list. And Butcher Holler, her home
Was
place
3 miles away.
3 miles away. So we felt like it was divine destiny for us to go up there and play a few songs and meet some of her family at the general store there and just hang out. And lo and behold, we had no idea all this was happening, but a lot of other people started coming also, and they were bringing roses, and it's just it was so special. So to answer your question, Loretta Lynn inspired me and so many of the other female artists that were cutting the path when the country music legends were coming up, and I'm sure Joe has many also.
Well, the people, let me have a cough drop. My inspirations are so diverse. The people who speak the truth, whether they're from Senegal, Africa, or Dublin, Ireland, or Pine Ridge, South Dakota. So we're inspired by the truth and goodness in people, and sometimes evil in people too. Which is what we did here tonight was just exposing our feelings towards the brutality and that man can put upon other men and women, of course. I say that in general, but so yeah, our inspirations come from all over, everything.
Wonderful. Well, thank you both so much, and thanks you for sharing your music and also the story about Miss Loretta Lynn.
Thank you.
Y'all keep doing what you're doing.
If you detect a bit of a scratchy throat, it's because it was like 70 degrees here one day, and the next day, just yesterday, we had snow. I think it's the temperature change. It's like we're both having our cough drops tonight. But thank you. The program's been so great so far. We can't wait to hear everyone else.
Ron did a good job right in front of us. Yay. Yay, Ron.
Thank you both, and here's Evan again.
Thank you, Penny. So here we are. It's the evening is continuing, and like I said, the hits just keep coming. What another great afternoon of live music on Open Mic America. So now we're going to go all the way to Burlington, and we're going to hear from Ann Sandstrom. Ann, how are you tonight, and what do you have in your heart that you would like to express through song today?
Well, hi, and thanks for having me. I'm doing well. Well, what a nice segue, really talking about weather, because this first song is called Blue Rain, and it's about missing somebody who's away. Although right now he's just upstairs in the living room. Blue Rain. there's a storm in my eyes. My man knows me well. All those secrets you never tell. I'm so lost when we're apart. When he left, he tore my heart. Alone in my bed, all alone in my head, sitting waiting like for a train in my own private brain. One day he'll come home with tall tales of where he's roamed. Until then, I'm on my own, sad and lonely to the bone. Blue rain falling down since my man left town. The weatherman calls for sunny skies, but there's a storm in my eyes. Blue rain, blue rain, blue Thank you. Just switching guitars here. I want to spare you from the ordeal of my having to retune. This way is much faster. So we had a pair of hummingbirds who took up residence in our backyard this year, and that was pretty special. And we're hoping they come back next year. Who knows? But I wrote this song long before they ever showed up. This is called Hummingbird Heart. Looking for a mistake to take your life and fix it for you. You believe in the soothsayers offering up prayers for you. You are just
Yeah.
Hi,
That
Ann.
was,
Hi.
Two very beautiful songs.
Well, thank you. Thank
yeah,
you.
they were fantastic. I mean, the lyrics were great, but I'm drawn to the guitar playing. Both of your guitars sounded fantastic. And
Thanks.
I decided to peek on your website while we were listening to you, and it looks like you're pretty much an alternate tuning person. So, and it gives that great kind of voicings to all those chords. I'm guessing you're a Joni Mitchell fan.
You are the lucky winner of being number 1 million who has said that.
And take that as a compliment.
I do take it very much as a compliment, yes, I am. I have been since 1968. So and I did inhale. So yeah, and but I do play in some tunings that she came up with, and I've actually even come up with one or two of my own, which you're in the middle of switching tunings from one to another. And I was doing that, and I just strummed the guitar halfway through, and I said, "Oh, that's different. Hey, I think I'll start writing in that." So I've got a few songs in tunings that I don't think anyone else uses.
Yeah, it definitely comes through as a listener to hear that.
Oh, good.
I like
Good.
that a lot. And then, Anne, for you to be going to open mics, what is your experience as a woman? Seems like around here there's a lot of men that go to open mics, and
It's upon occasion, especially when we used to do in-person things all the time. Sometimes I'd be the only woman, and I would notice it, but that's all. I now that one thing that's been good through the pandemic is connecting with a lot of other women, singers, songwriters throughout the country, actually internationally. And it's been very inspiring and eye-opening, and it's wonderful to see other women in various age groups too, still being creative and still having a voice and something to say.
absolutely. And speaking of being creative, it seems like you're a poet. And is that how you got into writing songs? Starting with
I knew almost from, I'll say, 4th grade on. I started writing poetry, bad poetry, but not bad for a 4th grader. And so the lyrics pretty much always come first. And I knew I wanted to write songs. And so I started writing songs.
And how long have you been playing the guitar?
Very long time, since I was 10 years old.
Oh, wonderful.
You can do the math, haha.
Well, you're very accomplished, and the songs were beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to the rest of the evening.
Yes. And now we're going back to Evan.
Wow, that was really great. Ann Sandstrom from Burlington, Massachusetts. And so now we're going to swing right into Becky Lloyd DesRoches, and she's down in Lexington, again, Massachusetts. Welcome in. And what's in your heart that you'd like to express through music tonight?
Well, sorry, I'm just making the adjustments. It's fun. We're just one town over from each other. I have a weird little pop-up thing coming up. So I was talking to a couple people about emerging adulthood and career thoughts. And so this is a song I wrote when I was an emerging adult, and I just never did anything with it. So it's called I'd Like. next song is, well, I think all songwriters, to one degree or another, write songs to process a lot of feelings that they're feeling. And so about 4 years ago, my dad had a heart attack, and it was a very difficult week, living at his house, racing off to the ER, and at the time we were also putting my mom in assisted living. And so this song is called More Than Enough.
Wow.
Becky, what beautiful songs. My goodness.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
I realized it was the world debut for both of them. That's the beautiful thing of open mics, of just, some of them had been around a long time, but I hadn't played them out.
I really love More Than Enough. That's beautiful.
Definitely cannot accuse you of holding back on that one. That was terrific. I got a question for you. So in your musical journey, what came first, playing the piano, writing songs? Were they kind of the same thing, or?
I would say, well, no, actually, piano kind of came last. I started as a singer-songwriter on guitar. Next time I come, I'll play guitar. For me, it's voice and lyrics are sort of where it all starts. And sometimes it starts with a groove or a lick on the piano, and then I interweave the melody around that. And it's interesting how differently I write, whether I'm in dadgad or regular tuning on a guitar or on piano. And I fractured my thumb playing soccer goalie a couple years ago, and so I stopped playing guitar so much, and it's really altered how I write songs. And it's been an interesting journey to see how that goes.
Yeah, I seem to remember you having played guitar on this show some time ago. I think on one of the times that I was on it as well. So that's good. If you were to think about some of your musical influences, who would come to mind? I mean, some people are like you kind of find to be, maybe not emulate, but like really fire you up to write.
So I'm a little different. So Peter Gabriel, I was an absolute Peter Gabriel addict. I actually went to one of the most special shows I've ever been to. Last night, Paula Cole came to town and played at the Lexington Carey Hall, and vocally just, there were some extraordinary women in the 90s who just lit a fire into me of, oh yeah, I can be a professor and I can study psychology, but also I want to do that. So it was interesting hearing Paula Cole talk about her journeys with Peter Gabriel, and I realized, all the people I just adore are all interlinked with each other as well. But I'm definitely a little more poppy than the typical folk scene.
Definitely hear that. And then just to get back to your writing the lyrics, are you sort of singing this in your head, or are you strumming a guitar, playing the piano at the same time?
It emerges in different ways. So for that song just kind of came out in a rush, and it was lyrics and melody all at the same time, and that doesn't usually happen, but for some songs it does. Some songs I get an idea and I'm driving, so all I can do is sing the melody and hope that I remember it when I get home. And so, inspiration comes from strange places.
Absolutely. Well, your music is wonderful, Becky. Thank you so much for sharing it with us tonight.
Thank you very much. What a great organization, and it's great to be back.
Wonderful. Thank you. And we're going to go right back to Evan.
All right, that was Becky, Lloyd, DesRoches in Lexington, Massachusetts. Thank you so much for that. And now moving into the second hour of our program today, we're going to bring Wade Worthington to the stage. Wade is on my end of the country down here in Portland, Oregon. Wade, welcome to the Open Mic America stage. What is in your heart that you would like to express through music today?
I'm going to do a song called 7 Ways to Sunday. In case you're not familiar with that term, it means you're looking every possible way. With tarot cards and a crystal ball, you rule the world within your trailer walls. I was searching 7 ways to Sunday, a starry stroll down along the beach, your cosmic soul I long to reach. I was searching 7 ways to Sunday. Lost in space, we lay 'neath the Milky Way. Dream of flying, I heard you say. Within the cards, I saw the light. Helplessness found me alright. I was searching 7 ways to Sunday. left me the Milky Way. Dream of flying, I heard you say. Searching 7 ways to Sunday. 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 Searching 7 ways. Thank you. I'm going to do a song that I co-wrote with a music partner of mine named Stephen Butler. We're in a band together, and we have a songwriting arrangement. He usually comes up with the some rhythmic or a few chord changes, and I usually get inspired by those. And he came up with the chords on this song. It's called No Killing Time. There's no killing time. There's no killing time. No killing time. There's no killing time, 'cause you're not here. Now every day seems like a year. You wanted out, you told me your love had disappeared. Now I'm stuck in this atmosphere where there's no killing time. See your face most everywhere as I work the grounds at the county fair. Up on the Ferris wheel, I thought I caught your stare. I turned away, I could not bear. There's no killing time. Was it you down by the racetrack with your kids and your mother? Was it you on the carousel, tangled up with your new lover? There's no killing time. There's no killing time. I'm off to stay at a friend's abode to hide from you in your trusty fold. The purple mountains cast a shadow to behold. Down this long and winding road where there's no killing time. There's no killing time. No killing time. There's no killing time. No killing time. There's no killing time.
All right.
Thanks.
Nice.
Hi, Wade.
Hi. Penny and Rob.
Yeah, perfect. Hey, those are two really great, catchy earworms that I think Rob and I are going to be singing for the next few days. So thanks for that.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
And I mean that in the most complimentary way. Hey, you say that you're in a band and then you're also a solo artist. Can you kind of tell us about that?
Sure. Yeah, right before the pandemic hit, our band, which is called Lawrence Elk. Yeah, some of us are old enough to remember. Anyway, we got our first couple shows. We're all excited, and of course, they closed it down, and then after a couple years of sort of a hiatus, the band kind of fell apart. But the songwriting partner I mentioned, Stephen Butler, and I are still at it, and we recently got in the studio and did an EP, and we're going to have it mastered in a couple weeks, and we're just going to plow through it, and hopefully a band will follow.
Perfect.
But yeah, so and then I enjoy doing Open Mic America, and going around doing open mics in town, and that's been kind of precarious. I really like doing the online thing, but I'm probably more nervous about the COVID than most, and so I did go to my first open mic last week. No, I'm sorry, it was last month, and wore a mask, and it was different. It's nice to be in a room full of people, but it's also really nice to be here. It's everybody sound great. Really enjoyed everyone's songs.
Wonderful. And I think Rob's going to ask you a question about technique.
Well, not so much that, but I'm kind of curious. You've got this really interesting lyric style. There seems to be the definite hook, and so on some of those songs, like the first song, does the hook come first and then kind of everything forms around it, or is what do you actually have, like a form that you follow, or is it kind of?
I think there's a few forms. Yeah, the first song, it definitely. I usually come up with melody first, and that could happen. Lately, it's been happening in dreams. I've been, waking up and fumbling, trying to find my phone and get this melody that I hear in my dream. And I got 3 songs out of that. And
Nice.
that's always kind of precarious because you don't know if it was really your song or not. The other thing that I do is, as I was telling you earlier, that I'll listen to what some chords given to me by, my music partner, and I just hear something. Melodies seem to be the easiest thing, and so being easy, that has to come first. The lyrics are could be very difficult and take months.
You make them sound easy.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and very, very interesting choices of rhymes and resolves. Definitely, not necessarily intuitive, which is always interesting to me. That going down an alley and coming up with a pleasant surprise is always great and lyrically for me.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Wade, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Now we'll go back to Evan.
Thank you, Penny and Rob. Once again, Wade Worthington, all the way from Portland, Oregon. And so now we're going to roll right into our next performer, who I can tell is eager to express through music what's in his heart tonight. Let's hear it for Christopher Thomas Elliott, all the way from Shutesbury, Massachusetts.
Hi there. Hello. Thanks for having me. This first song is about intense psychological pain and emotional trauma. This is called Home for the Holidays. And Virginia's born again. She used to be on heroin. Now she's in a better way. Home for the holidays. You begin the meal with grace, managing a straight face. Pass the wine, pass the peas. Let's not talk religion, please, please. No politics. Uncle Earl gets right on with it. Here's the ham, how you been? Are you still vegetarian? They've become so right-wing, it's hard to talk about anything except for food, sports, and weather. Let's give peace a chance together. Blood on blood is thicker than water. Father and son, sister and brother. Jesus was a lamb. Lambs get slaughtered. Jesus was a lamb. Lambs get slaughtered. Slip a scrap to the dog, pour some rum in your soy nog. Uncle Rex makes a joke that makes them laugh and makes you choke. Funny how he sees the world, eye to eye with Uncle Earl. Father stays above the fray, head buried in his play. Mother sighs like your sister, mean and nasty, but you missed her. Wouldn't grandchildren be nice? A dog will have to suffice. Grandma 1 and Grandma 2 talk about what's wrong with you. You have no kids, you have no house. You're sleeping on the pull-out couch. Blood on blood is thicker than water. Father and son, sister and brother. Jesus was a lamb. Lambs get slaughtered. 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 There's your nephew, there's your niece, the whole family's round the feast. They may love you in their way, they mean well, but you can't stay. Swap the gifts, thank you, cheers, say goodbye until next year. Unless Christ returns by then, you'll have to go through this again.
Oh yeah. Really?
Okay. All right, I'm going to do one more song. Again, thanks for having me. It's been a real treat. This song imagines a conversation between the iconic 20th century physicist and who was also an amateur passionate violin player. And the Greek god of strength and endurance. Hercules says to Einstein, I'm no genius. I've been beaten down and destroyed, but not defeated. Have you seen the Japanese sky fall? Listen out, the bomb burned their shadows into the walls. Hercules, I can see their shadows haunt your features. From Olympus to Berlin in your black t-shirt. You got the muscle, I got the crazy hair. Let's rock some Amadeus with my fiddle, pull up a chair. like you play with the bow. Well, my father played with lightning. Silhouettes of the enemy, vivid storm clouds striking. Hercules, the form of a woman can make you spin. A gentleman holds his lady like a violin. I've seen Troy burn in their beds, I've seen Mars burn masses. But it's the shadows burned on the walls that torture my conscience. Look at old Ludwig there, his hair messy as mine, composing strings, deaf therefore divine. Reaching out from blasted wall, the shadows hug the air. I step where they wrap their arms, so somebody's there. You need help, strong man, love, when the days begin. Sleeping next to me, she sings like a violin. Sleeping next to me, she sings like a violin. You need help, strong man, love, when the days begin. Hercules and Einstein at a loss for words. Heaven alive with the hum of hummingbirds.
Wonderful.
Hi, Christopher.
Hey there.
Wow. Funny, poignant, very heartfelt. How did you get the idea for Hercules and Einstein?
I don't know. Well, I had a song a long time ago that was called Hercules and Einstein. That was totally different. That was just a bunch of juxtapositions of things that sounded funny, like celebrities and I don't know, Malcolm X and Michael Bolton, like two, and it was stuck around a long time. Actually played it. I mean, this is like 20 years ago. And then one day I just took out once it was a forgotten song and a little too clever. It didn't really have that much to it. It was just kind of cute, clever without much content. And then one thing that jumped out was Hercules and Einstein. And it was like, let's just take that out. And what would they talk about if they had a conversation? Like, let's flesh that little moment out and have them sit down together. Because in the original song, it was just like like, oh, he represents the mind, he represents the body. That was the little juxtaposition. And so I was like, well, what would they say to each other? And
Yeah. And how often does that happen for you, that you rework a song or rework lyrics?
oh, a lot. Yeah, definitely. And I think songwriters, I don't know, other folks here have had that experience of a song that didn't quite work, but you knew something was there and you put it away. And then a year later, 10 years later, 15 years later, either you find that song and it comes to life and you see, that's what I need to change to make it work. And you do the other 10% or 20%, or you just radically revise something, like saying you find one line on a song that wasn't working, and that new line is the first line or the entrance point to a completely new song.
Perfect.
So, a lot.
I loved your songs. Like I said, I love the humor, love the poignant parts. Beautiful. Thank you so much. And it was great meeting you, Christopher.
Thanks.
And now we'll go back to Evan.
and the hits just keep coming. Thank you again, Chris Elliott. So now let's move right on to hear from Robert Edgar down in Sunnyvale, California. Just like a rubber band, we're bouncing back to this side of the country on the West Coast. Welcome in, and it's good to see you and your friend, Roger Winkleman. What do you have in your heart you'd like to share in song tonight?
I'm trying to put things in my heart, that's we've got a couple songs. Roger and I have been playing together for well over a decade, and this is one we started with a long time ago. It's called If Duchamp Drew Beautifully. It's about, it's kind of a study of an artist named Marcel Duchamp. 2, 3, 4. Well, the thing about bridges is, you'll descend on the other side. Yeah, and the thing about life is that, it's a bridge. While the shortest path between us is a straight line, only factory workers move from day to day that way. Well, the thing about chances, a lifetime of dice rolls never produced a single 3-chord blues. And the thing about chances, it's a cage. And a computer can draw a mechanical line, or one flowing between thin and thick, finally rising like some heaven-headed sign. Thing about youth is, it so often confuses meaning with truth. Well, the thing about aging is, it's a life. If Duchamp drew beautifully, his waterfall would descend wetly. If Duchamp drew beautifully, his waterfall would descend wetly. If Duchamp drew beautifully.
Right on.
Thanks a lot. So here's another one. This is another older song. And Roger and I have been playing this for a long time. It's called Iceberg for Dubai. In the late 20th century, somebody got the idea to take a boat and go up and try to drag an iceberg to the Middle East. It didn't happen, it hasn't happened yet, but I thought that would be a great, there's at least a song there. Everyone likes to drink now and then, don't tell me you don't. But now I'm no fool like Hazelwood, I drink water when I'm in the notch. Yeah, but today, boy, my glass is overflowing. Water in tow, water in tow, 'cause I'm a tugboat under a blue sky, leading the sweet through the salt. I got an iceberg for Dubai. Wrap my cable around frozen steel, hunt deep like Captain Ahab. Found it floating in the Lincoln Sea. I've been 40 days pulling southeasterly in my lower bridge, the one with 7 windows. Water in tow, water in tow, 'cause I'm a tugboat under a blue sky, leading the sweet through the salt. I got an iceberg for Dubai. Steward has a glass at my table, Canadian iceberg vodka, glaciers from the Pleistocene. Water trapping ancient oxygen, freezing to support the steps of man. I'm the captain, any ship, any water, and tonight I'm sipping the milk of the virgin earth. Soon we'll sail through Gibraltar. This ain't no barge. Sun streams through the clouds, the ocean's gold. Slice it with lasers, make a drink for a sheik's lips. Dry dock your icebreakers, this is my act of love. Water in tow, 'cause I'm a tugboat under a blue sky, leading the sweet through the salt with an iceberg for Dubai. Decreasing supply on this barren earth, increasing demand. All that makes people think of a crazy plan. Melt free a dinosaur, or a mammoth all tusks and hair. Frozen bubbles, the last breath of the first man. Water in tow, water in tow, 'cause I'm a tugboat under a blue sky, leading the sweet through the salt. I've got an iceberg for Dubai. Water in tow, 'cause I'm a tugboat under a blue sky, leading the sweet through the salt. I've got an iceberg for Dubai. Becky.
Hi, Robert.
Hey, how you
Great
doing?
songs.
Thanks.
So I got to tell you, I think you have created your very own idiom, and I mean that in the most positive way. While you were playing, we were going through your website, and I was listening to the lyrics and the kind of the juxtaposition of images there, and that is a whole cohesive new thing there. I'm guessing that you have all kinds of outside interests other than music, and I'm guessing they're probably not separate from your music that affect what you play and how you play it.
Oh, sure. And a lot of separate music stuff. When you ask about influences, I think about close people that are close and then people that are far away. Certainly, Roger and I have influenced each other over the years doing things, but there are also those that are further away. I heard a wonderful concert in Berkeley last week of Steve Reich music, and it was actually crying during the kind of piece called Tachlin, which is just gorgeous, especially played live. Stockhausen, Roger and I met each other when we started playing with some South Indian classical musicians, and we did that for about a decade while we were getting to know each other, and then broke off and now do other stuff. But certainly the filmmaking and video things that you also saw on my website probably are it's all composition, it's all stuff. And it's I think what we learn is we learn how to dig into the real stuff that's there, and then that stuff tells us about ourselves and about the world. And those people who are lucky find not just someone else who's doing it, but actually some sort of connection in the world with the stuff, and dig there, and that's where a lot, I think, of good stuff comes from.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And Roger, hi. We didn't want to ignore you, so we want to say hi to Roger as well. And,
Hey there.
And so for you, Robert, how long have you been playing? How did you get started?
I got started when I was 12. I had a fellow who had become my brother-in-law who played guitar and fiddle and banjo and everything. He came from a family that did it, so it came up through his family, and he taught me how to play fingerstyle and some other things, and I kind of started there.
Nice.
So it started early, but I had someone to show me kind of through a tradition how to do some stuff.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, your songs are wonderful, and for people, if they get a chance, please check out the art, the videos. They're pretty fantastic. So,
All that stuff. Yeah, that's at robertedgar.com, and we show up there prominently. Thanks. This is a wonderful evening of music. This Chris's stuff that was just there was I thought was stunning, and so many of the folks tonight are absolutely wonderful. So thanks.
definitely. Thank you for being a part of it. And we're going to have our next performer, and here's Evan to introduce that person.
Thank you, Penny and Rob. It has been a great period of music, and we still have two more performers left to bring us on home. And so right now we're going to jump on over to Olympia, Tumwater, Washington, and hear from Jane Canfield. Hi, Jane. What's in your heart that you'd like to express through music tonight?
Well, it's been a wonderful night of talent, and I apologize if I got kicked off the internet and I missed Wade. I believe it was his performance. Becky was frozen when I... Did anybody else get kicked off? If I'm having difficulties, if you could please wave, because I'm on Ethernet, I thought, and I didn't think that happened within Ethernet. Anyway, really enjoying the evening. Thanks for having me back, Open Mic America, and all you do for us songwriters. My eyes, I apologize. I'm having trouble with screens. So I'm wearing these glasses for anti-glare. The song I'm going to perform first is A Wish, a Prayer. I've been encouraged by West Coast songwriters and other mentors to update the lyric and sadly delete the references to Vietnam and Iraq because so many younger people don't relate to it. And unfortunately, there are newer wars that can be related to. So I have taken out the references, and this is the new version of A Wish, a Prayer. Here we go. Again, if there's any problem, please wave. Oh, my piano went off. 15 candles, the war goes on. Everything feels so wrong. Even though it's my birthday, I can't really celebrate. At our table is an empty chair. My big brother should be there. Dad says he'll be coming home. Close my eyes and blow. Make a wish that becomes a prayer for my brother out there somewhere. Heart be strong, be safe from harm. Make a wish, I say a prayer. Wars have come, wars have gone. The fighting still goes on and on. Seems after all these birthdays, war would finally go away. But our world has empty chairs again. Will the heartache ever end? And as we long for peaceful years, we blow the candles througthrough our tears. Make a wish that becomes a prayer for loved ones out there somewhere. Hearts be strong, be safe from harm. Make a wish, say a prayer. One small candle burning bright, I see the future in a precious child. All too soon you'll be 15. What kind of world will it be? Make a wish, say a prayer for every child, everywhere. Hearts be strong, be safe from harm. Make a wish, say a prayer.
Oh, beautiful.
Wow.
My next song, it began as a song of gratitude to my family, and then it has extended to many people, and things like Open Mic America that make our lives better. So here's to Open Mic America. Have you ever felt Arizona at 120 degrees? In the desert without water, you could die from the heat. But it's wonderful when the weather turns, everything has changed. The sky lights up the waterfalls, and her dying heart is saved. You're like rain in the desert, beautiful rain, a cloud that opens wide, fills my empty sky. 'Cause I'm coming out of a long, hard drought. You're like rain in the desert to me. Yes, my world was so dry, just a dead barren land. You made it come alive, like blossoms in the sand. And suddenly it's all shining hues, and a rainbow too. Yes, I'm feeling those colors, and it's all because of you. My rain in the desert, beautiful rain, a cloud that opens wide, fills my empty sky. 'Cause I'm coming out of a long, hard drought. You're like rain in the desert to me. You are just what I need. Pour down on me. Rain, beautiful rain, a cloud that opens wide, fills my empty sky. I'm out of that drought. You're like a rain. Rain in the desert.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Hi, Jane.
Hey, where are you? Oh, there you are.
I don't know if you can see.
There
Oh,
we
there we
are.
are. We're back. Hi. Two really beautiful songs. Thank you.
So I got to ask you, three things really struck me listening to your songs. One, your compositions are fantastic. Two, your piano playing is really great, and your melodies are wonderful as well. So I got to know kind of what the influences are on all of those things. But I'm going to start with the piano influence. You know, like your that what kind of influenced your piano style.
Well, I have to thank my parents. I started piano at 6, and I also was involved with playing church in the piano, and I listened to the pastor's wife, who was very accomplished, and she did the chords all over the piano. And I've kind of let that behind, and I wish I hadn't forgotten what she did because it sounded so grand. But then of course I love Elton John, and I'd love to do some Diana Krall, but I'm not even close. But I love her chords. Yeah, so there are a lot of influences, and beyond piano too, obviously. Yeah. I'm old. I've heard a lot of music.
Yeah, sure. And then I liked what you said at the beginning about having specific references versus general references. And I know you changed your first song in that regard. And what is your thought about that, about gaining audience appeal or getting people to buy into the song and changing it? How do you feel about that?
It was hard to leave Vietnam and Iraq behind because those were so close to my heart. And that's what broke my heart to write the song in 2004. But I can see wanting to make it meaningful for everyone. So that's why I did it. And it's been very, very much approved by a lot of people. So I was invited to play at the Freight and Salvage in Berkeley, the song as it was written new, the 2022 version. So yeah, it's being received well.
Good. Well, they're both beautiful songs. Thank you so much for joining us. And we're going to go back to Evan. And I think we just have one more performer left that Evan is going to introduce to us.
That's right. Thank you again, Jane. So now we have heard this afternoon from both sides of the country. Right now, it's time to go right down to the center and let Jimmy Joe Natoli take us home. Take us home, Jimmy Joe.
And it's a co-write with my duo partner and former wife, Chrissy.
Excuse me. Let's do a quick sound check on Jimmy Joe. He's very quiet.
All right, let's see.
Do you have original sound on?
Original sound is on.
Okay.
Is it coming through?
Yes.
Yeah. Enough? I can go into my sound and
It's very quiet.
How's that?
That's fine.
Too loud.
Too loud?
Yes.
Okay.
Try that.
How's this now?
That's better.
All right. Okay, here we go. What are they up to now? They dragged a tree inside. It's standing in the living room, a new toy for me to climb. They're hanging globes from the branches, stringing up pretty lights. I'm watching from the shadows, waiting for the dead of night. What is that shimmery, silvery stuff dangling from the boughs? It sparkles in the blinking lights, it's calling to me now. And the tree says, here kitty, kitty, come play with me. Pull the shroud from my stand and help me spread the holiday cheer. Start with the silvery, shimmery strands. A plant that blooms this time of year sits upon the tabletop next to a cookie and a glass of milk. I find it hard to stop when the plant says, here kitty, kitty, come play with me. Have a drink and a taste of sweet. And despite what you have heard, poinsettias make the tastiest kitty cat treat. Then comes a shock and boom! I fly right over the couch, through the door, into the dining room. set me free. Spread the toys all around the room and sleep right here in your favorite place with me. I wake up with a terrible pain wrenching in my gut. I howl and cry to my humans and they drive me to the vet. And the vet says, here kitty, kitty, come play with me. Open up wide so I can see. I think it's something that you ate. She gives me a pill to help me regurgitate. Set of leaves and cookies and milk, tinsel and garland and ribbons of silk, electric cord wrapping paper so thick. I just don't understand why I got so sick. Then my humans say, here kitty, kitty, come play with me. Let's go home where you can sleep in our bedroom far away from the tree, where we can keep an eye on our little catastrophe.
All right.
Yeah. Fun.
Bags are packed, I'll lock the door, feed the cats. Today, there's no more to say. I'm on my way, I'm on my way. When you're down, you need someone, call on me, consider it done. Today, it'll be okay, I'm on my way, I'm on my way, I'm on my way, through the tears and fears and all the doubts troubling me. But I can see the light of a brand new day. I'm on my way, I'm on my way. I've made a choice, I have a plan. I'll take the world by the hand. A new day is here to stay. I'm on my way, I'm on my way, I'm on my way, through the tears and fears and all the doubts troubling me. I can see the light of a brand
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
Hey there.
Hey.
That was fantastic. Hey, I was wondering when you were going to break out the Berkeley and Guitar Institute chops, and that was the intro on the instrumental part on the second song. But what I really want to know is, was that first song autobiographical?
Autobiographical?
As in, did that cat do that to you?
No, it was actually Chrissy, my ex, who was also my duo partner. She had the idea to write a Christmas song from the cat's perspective, but she said, "But you have to write it." So that's me. And we were actually out on the Oregon coast camping, and she went out for a hike, and I stayed back at camp. And by the time she got back, I had the song written, and then she changed a few key things that kind of brought it to life, and that's where it came from.
Yeah.
It's good.
Nice.
But yeah, there are a lot of cats in my life, so I see that. It could be real.
Right. It definitely could be real. You said a little thing about the word key, which reminded me. You did the little quick key change with your capo.
Yeah.
Very clever.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I could do bar chords, but it just kind of adds to the fun of it.
Absolutely.
It
Yeah,
absolutely works.
Little sight gag. Yeah.
Definitely. And so you started playing guitar when you were 12.
Right.
And when did you start actually writing songs, writing lyrics?
When I was about 30.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Kind of like I think it was Ron before said he's primarily a guitar player, and then the songwriting came later. That's how it was for me too.
And then what inspired you to start writing your own material?
Well, I moved to Austin, and it was really hard to put a band together because everybody was so transient, and musicians were just kind of playing with everybody, and I was used to having a band where you're like a family and you write together and play together and all that. So it was different when I got to Austin, so I thought, well, maybe I need to do this, do it myself.
Right.
And I was kind of inspired when I went to see Johnny Cash and June Carter.
Oh, goodness.
And I thought, all right, well, there's a good place to start.
Yeah. Definitely. Great inspiration there with those two. And do we call you Jimmy or Jimmy Joe?
Usually Jimmy Joe.
Jimmy Joe?
There you go. He works too.
Well, it was a pleasure meeting you. Your songs are wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, hope to hear you again, man.
Yeah, and now we're going to turn it back over to Evan.
Wow, what another great Open Mic America program. You guys really just made, the day wonderful, and the archive is there for your friends, to see. And so I'm going to say thank you to each one of you, and let's all wave at each other as we say thank you, Last Chance. Thank you, Ron Smith, Joe Kidd and Sheila Burke, Ann Sandstrom, Becky Lloyd DesRoches, Wade Worthington, Christopher Thomas Elliott, Robert Edgar, and Roger Winkleman, and Jane Canfield, and Jimmy Joe Natoli, who brought us home. Thank you so much. So now remember to check out the Open Mic America website, openmicamerica.com, for links to all of these performers and past performers, show archives. You can find out where these folks like to play locally because we keep a list of that. You can even get your own Open Mic America t-shirt at openmicamerica.com. So please go check it out, and remember to check out your local open mics, and you can again see where your friends here today are playing. We definitely want to give a quick shout out to our hosts. They work tirelessly behind the scenes to make all this possible. We definitely want to recognize and say thank you to our newest team members, Penny and Rob Cork, and to Open Mic America team member extraordinaire, Alice Osborne, for her engineering and helping us with today's broadcast. I've been your MC. My name is Evan Acey. Next week, we're going to be back again with Rich Basler as our MC and Robert Edgar as our interviewer. So stay tuned for the next full lineup, and good night, America.
If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.